everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies, and today we're going to be reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine. Not only the third installment in the Deadpool franchise, but the latest film in the MCU. And this review will be spoiler free, so if you have not seen the movie, don't worry, I'm not going to ruin the movie in this video, so you are completely safe to watch this video. Right now I'm going to have some information up on screen like director, runtime, and PA rating. All of that will be up on screen for you to read right now. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your spoiler-free thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the pros. Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you guys, but this was an awesome movie. Like, this movie is genuinely so good that it definitely makes the list of my top 10 favorite Marvel movies, at least from the MCU. Starting off in particular, the R rating. Now, I did mention this when I reviewed the first two Deadpool movies, but I'll emphasize it here again. The R rating here is one of the benefits of this movie, because it makes the movie a lot more entertaining in terms of the action. And the reason why Deadpool and Wolverine in particular has the biggest praise for the R rating is because this is attached with Marvel Studios, who prior to this movie have only made PG-13 movies, with this one being the first R-rated film in the cinematic universe. And hopefully more to come. Like, I hope that Blade movie is going to be R-rated. But as someone who grew up with the MCU, I'm happy that Marvel went that more mature route and went with that R rating. Because if they made Deadpool and Wolverine PG-13, we would have been very mad at Disney. Also, the humor in this movie is also really good. Like, this is like the funniest Deadpool movie we have ever gotten. A lot of the jokes in here were straight up hilarious because they do make fun of the Disney-Fox merger, and it was absolutely hilarious seeing Deadpool make fun of that buyout. I also gotta go ahead and talk about the cameos in this movie because they were shocking. Like, I'm not gonna spoil who made appearances in this movie, but let me tell you, the marketing for this movie hit a lot. Like, I know that the recent trailers and TV spots were starting to get spoilery with revealing characters like X-23 and B-15 from the Loki series, but there are still a lot of surprises that Marvel hid away that they had in this movie, and it was so worth it because these cameos, I was not expecting them at all. And I cannot wait for you guys to know who else made cameo appearances in this movie. Like, generally, this is honestly the Spider-Man No Way Home for like the Fox X-Men universe. Like, they pay respects to like the early X-Men movies, and it's handled so well. Even though I will admit No Way Home did that a lot better than this movie, it was still handled very well. Talking about like the action sequences of this movie, they were the best that we have ever gotten in the Deadpool trilogy. Like, huge props to director Sean Levy because he did such a great job with like the action sequences in this movie. And I know we heard rumors of him possibly directing the next Avengers movie, formerly titled Kang Dynasty. After seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, I would not mind him directing Avengers 5, although it seems like that it might end up being the Russo brothers, but we'll just have to wait and see. Sticking to what Levy did in this movie, he did like a very good job. That makes me want to see him direct more stuff within the MCU, whether that be another Deadpool movie or a completely different movie altogether. I also gotta go ahead and talk about the cast of the movie because they did a great job in this movie. I'm not going to spend too much time on like the returning characters from the previous two movies. They did like a great job in this movie. for so little that we see them. But some of the ones I do want to highlight is Emma Corrin as Cassandra Nova. She did like a great job as this villain associated with the X-Men and living in the void. Like, there are a lot of creepy sequences that she does in this movie, particularly with her powers. She wasn't like an amazing film within like MCU standards, but compared to like Deadpool trilogy, I feel like that she probably is the best of the trilogy. Matthew McFadden as the TVA agent Paradox in this movie also did like a good job as like this TVA agent trying to help Deadpool. But generally, I did not mind his character that much in the movie. He's kind of like the Francis of this movie, where I don't think he is like the best character of the movie, but the people who did the best in this movie were Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman as Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, they did a great job in this movie as like Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, Ryan Reynolds continues to be like the best part of these movies. Like, his comedic timing is on par with the Deadpool character, and I cannot be more happier that they didn't decide to recast him. Hugh Jackman, on the other hand, he did like an amazing job as this other Wolverine helping out Deadpool. Now, I will admit, this isn't the best performance Hugh Jackman gave as Wolverine, as I feel like that title belongs to Logan. He still did like a great job in this movie nonetheless. I also will say that the dynamic between Deadpool and Wolverine was done so well. Like, it's a dynamic that you expect from both Deadpool and Wolverine together, where they do fight with each other, but they are willing to work together. And this movie does that perfectly. And lastly, this movie's just entertaining. Like, I had so much fun watching this movie that like, whenever I decide to rewatch this movie in the future, I'm definitely gonna have a lot of fun and enjoyment watching it, because it's just that fun to watch. Like, this has gotta be the most entertaining movie in the MCU to date. So yeah, I thought Deadpool Wolverine was a very great movie and definitely very entertaining to watch. Like, I'm definitely going to rewatch this movie when it comes out to like Disney Plus or digital. But even though I had a whole lot of positive things to say, there are still some negatives I want to talk about, leading me to the cons. Now keep in mind that these to me are kind of like minor nitpicks that don't overall ruin like the experience that I had watching this movie. So for starters, the story, because I feel like that the story in this movie is probably gotta be like the weakest out of the Deadpool trilogy. Like, even though I still found it like very entertaining to watch compared to like the other two movies, it's just like the weakest one out of the entire trilogy. And also, some of the jokes might end up getting dated when rewatching it like 2 or 3 years in the future, because although I found the humor of this movie to be on par with like the first two Deadpool movies, there are some jokes in here that might heavily date it in the future. But I'm still gonna laugh at those jokes like 3 or 4 years down the road when I rewatch this movie. But putting the cons aside, I absolutely love this movie and consider it to be like definitely top tier Marvel. Like, I cannot wait to see what they do with the Deadpool character next, whenever Marvel decides to bring him back in the MCU. So for my scorecard, I'm gonna give Deadpool and Wolverine 5 stars, with the score out of 10 being 10 out of 10, with the percentage being 100%, with a grade of A+, with my final verdict being the No Way Home for the Fox universe. But that generally was my thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. I want to know your thoughts on this movie down in the comment section. Please keep it spoiler free, because I do not want this movie ruined for anyone. Like, seriously, go check out this movie if you really want to see it as fast as you can, because There are some amazing surprises that I do not want ruined for you guys. But also be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. And have a great day.